Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are a returning subby, welcome to another video. And if you are new to my channel, hopefully you like the video, you like what you see, and you smash the subscribe button and join the Yay family, the Yay Gang. What it do? Okay, sorry, let me just grab my wine chair. So today I just wanted to have like a quick discussion. I feel like there's so much to unpack with this particular topic, but obviously I can't speak forever and ever. But as a lot of you have probably seen, Jeannie Mai is pregnant with Jeezy's baby, and it's her first child. So those of you who maybe follow her, know her, watch the reel, anything like that, would know that for like the longest time she was always saying like, I don't want kids, I'm never gonna have kids. Like, it was just like, that was her stance. So when I saw that like she's pregnant now, and like 2 seconds after getting married to Jeezy, and she was with the previous husband for many years, and they ended up getting a divorce because he wanted kids and she didn't. So I was like, Miss Ma'am, like, what the hell? So then I watched the reel, and I saw the whole pregnancy announcement on the reel, and she mentioned there that a lot of her fears when it came to wanting to have children and then ultimately just deciding against it, it was due to the fact that like her childhood was very traumatic and she never felt safe, and now she's in a relationship where she feels safe. So I just wanted to speak about just like the impact that a traumatic childhood can have on you as an adult. So on the 21st of September, there was a tweet by Andy Siwe, not Andy's one. I love that. Where she was asking people that were raised by extremely strict parents, how has that affected you as an adult? So this then like just solidified, just based on the responses, solidified just how many people grew up in an environment that was maybe not the healthiest, and then now you become an adult and you have so much unlearning to do, and you're just like, you struggle to function normally because it changes how you are as a person and how you respond to the world and how you react to other people. So a lot of like the most common responses here were just like lack of boundaries. People were saying they have a lack of boundaries. They feel like they need to over explain, because it was probably like with their parents, it was always like, what's up, where did you go, where were you, who are these friends of yours, whatever. So people always feel like they have to explain. They're people pleasers, they can't make decisions by themselves. And I mean, it's not linked to the Jeannie and Jeezy thing. That was just the idea, or the story that sparked the idea in my mind, man. Like, it's so crazy how much impact the way you were raised has on you, and how much unlearning you could potentially have to do based on how you were raised, and the impact that that has also on your relationship. Because I know in my relationship, in my relationship, I feel like the the conversations that bring us closer and that help me to understand him, or him to understand me, Are those conversations where like you really dig deep on how the person was raised, how were they treated at home, like things like that. That informs so much of how they interact with you as now we're adults, as adults now. So it was just so interesting to me. I also saw responses under the tweet saying like, now I understand why my partner behaves a certain way. I thought they were just being, you know, weird or whatever, but no, actually Lomdo might be traumatized by what happened. What I also find interesting is like how you were raised can, like the same type of environment can produce different results. Like not everybody that grew up in a certain way will turn out the same when they're adults. I find that very interesting because a lot of the people on the tweet were saying as well that um, they seek validation from people a lot, and you know they can't make decisions for themselves. They always have to consult with somebody, which I can really really relate to. Like literally today, like there was something I wanted to buy, but I can't just get it. I have to first like ask somebody. I asked my boyfriend. I was like, do you think I should get this? Like I just needed that extra like, yeah, do it in order for me to do it, which is so weird because it's my decision, it's my money. So yeah, but with that being said, people were saying that they seek validation a lot because maybe they weren't getting it from the home environment. And it's so interesting to me because when I was growing up, I wouldn't say I got much validation either. Like I don't want to sound like all like I'm tooting my own horn, but I was like a straight A student, literally from beginning of school to the end of high school. So like I was that person that always like 80% plus 80% plus every single term, and like the validation would come from people at school, like teachers, other children's parents. Like my friends' parents would be like, yeah, you must be friends with her because she gets the good marks, you know, she's gonna influence you. But now in food, you guys will study, but I never really got much of that at home. Like at home would be like, cool. Like okay, like it wasn't even a thing when I gave my mom my report card. It'd be like, here it is, and she'd look at it like when she felt like it. You know. So it's just so weird because for me it's the opposite way. Because now, because like it's I didn't get that growing up, it's not something that I seek. Like I'm very cool without validation. Like declared, like I'm good. Like you don't have to tell me I'm doing good. You don't have to, you know what I mean? Because if I feel like I'm doing bad, you saying I'm doing good is not going to change that. And if I already feel like I'm doing good, you saying it is not going to add to that. To get what I'm saying, it has like no impact on me. External validation and people telling you like you're doing great, etc., etc. Like it doesn't impact me. So it's just so weird how it can produce like two different like opposite results. And I also remember like linked to what I just mentioned now with like doing well in school, etc. When I was in high school, like because I went to a model C school, like a white school, whatever. Grew up in a township, stayed in Tanzania, but would have to commute to town and go to school there. So a lot of the kids that I was going to school with, like they had money at home. We didn't have much, but they had money. So they'd always be like, oh my gosh, if I was getting your marks, I would have the latest phone right now. And then when we got to like grade 11 matric, if I got your results, I would have a new car by now. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, yeah, that's very, that's nice. That's nice. That's good. It's good for you. That's good for you. But that's not gonna happen for me. I get a pat on the back and and that's it. And also, I think it might have served me well because in the same breath, like not being able to take in validation, I'm also not able to take in negativity, because other people's opinions don't actually impact me much, like at all. So it has its pros and cons, because um, you could say something negative and it'll be the same, it'll arrive the same way that a good comment would. It's not going to impact me much. If I don't think what you're saying is true, I'm not going to now, like, if you say, oh, Simanye, you're so fat. If I don't think I'm fat, I'm not good. Like, it doesn't bother. I'm not fat to be. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And I just think one thing that I enjoy with these kind of conversations, and just in general with our generation more so than like the older generations, and maybe even like our older siblings, even, because there's quite a gap between myself and my older siblings. So even there's like a bit of a disconnect. But with our generation, like maybe young 20s and teens and stuff, I like the fact that we are advocating more for like people must go to therapy, and encouraging men to go to therapy, because a lot of suicides, I just recently learned, are by men, and it's because men don't feel like they have a safe space to be vulnerable and show their emotions, because men are always like told when they're growing up, you're a man, you don't cry, you don't wimp, you don't complain, you just suck it up and take it like a man. You take it like a man. So I really enjoy the fact that now we're just debunking a lot of nonsensical notions that like, and ideologies and things that we were taught, like, nah, that's not it. That's not it. No, men must go to therapy. Men must be vulnerable. Men must show their emotions. Cry if you need to cry. And speaking of crying, I think crying is very important. Like, once every couple of months, if you're not a crier like me, at least every couple of months, just let it go. Just let it go. Like, it's very, very important. So it makes sense why most of suicides are committed by men, because if you don't release that energy, it will build up, and men are encouraged not to release that emotional energy, and so it builds up and overwhelms them. So I'm really happy that like we're having these conversations where we're talking about our childhoods, we're talking about going to therapy and fixing ourselves and taking accountability. I also think these kind of conversations help with like relationships and friendships in general, because it's there's a lot of things that maybe we're not aware of about our friends. I know at the end of 2019, one of my friends, like, we had a staycation, and we booked an Airbnb, and like we just had vibes and whatever. So when we were chilling at the Airbnb, like in the morning, now we didn't sleep that night. In the morning, we had like these really deep chats. You know how it gets after midnight, and this was like long after midnight, so it was getting deeper and deeper by the hour. And we had a conversation where like we found out some like really hectic stuff about one of our friends that she never speaks to anyone about, you know. So it really helped us as her friends as well to understand like what her home situation is like and how she grew up. It helps us as her friends to know how to approach her better, to be a bit more sensitive, and to know that sometimes when these toxic things manifest, that it's not necessarily something that they intend to do like to hurt you, but it's just the only response that they know how to give, because they've been conditioned to respond that way. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Mm. And guys, we mustn't take those posts lightly when they're like be nice to the next person, because you never know what they're going through. Like, mustn't take those posts lightly. Like, people really do be going through some things, and there's a lot that people are carrying. And to not speak generally, let me bring it home. Let me speak about me, since I would obviously know my own situation the best. um for me, I wouldn't necessarily say I had a traumatic childhood, or that my parents were overly strict. Like, my mom is strict, but she got better. Okay, she got better like when I was already a teen. So yeah, I guess maybe she got better because I was getting older. I don't know, but it also happened to me, I think maybe third year or so, where I started like introspecting a lot, which I encourage people to do. Introspect, journal if you have to. Like, journaling is a nice way to like get your thoughts out, and to just let it all out, release it. And it doesn't even have to be like a conversation with somebody, or something that somebody else is gonna see. At least with a journal, like, it's private, so you know whatever you're feeling is still sacred, but you're still getting the benefit of getting it out. So yeah, I do encourage journaling and self-introspection a lot. So anyway, so around third year, I went through like a lot of introspection and connecting the dots, which I recommend for everybody. And by connecting the dots, I mean like linking your behaviors to how you were raised. Like, okay, so I tend to act like this. Like, for example, what I mentioned earlier, I tend to really, like, I'm very unaffected. It's a good thing and a bad thing, because, like, also when it comes to becoming motivated, nobody can motivate me. Like, nothing can motivate. If I'm not like, let me get up, let me do this, nothing will get me up and doing it. Not a single thing in the world. So it has pros and cons. But anyway, when I noted that, I was like, wait, now hold on now. And I was able to link that to, oh, okay, so whenever I was doing great, like in school, and it wasn't just academically, just with anything where I was doing great. Like, there's a lot of other things that I did in school, but I never got like the, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Like, you're, you know, because of that, now I'm like this. So that whole process of realizing your habits, your behaviors, your patterns, and being able to kind of unpack them, link them to perhaps, why am I like this? Why do I behave like this? It can help to like sort of guide you and help you towards developing and doing better as a person. So if there's something that like you know you do, you can't help it, but you want to change it, I think that's the best way to go about it. To actually just like, okay, let me think about this. Why do I act this way? It does not necessarily have to be because of childhood. It could be because of a past relationship. Could be that, you know, that really just shook you, and now you're like defensive towards people, or you shut people out or something like that, and you're just like, wait, no man, why in the sense that, why am I like this as a person? And you realize, but oh no, it's because of Jerome. Those who've watched my story time will know. But anyway, it's because of Jerome. And then you're like, oh shit, it's because of Jerome. And then you can start like dealing with it and healing from it and being better. And yeah, guys, this whole life thing is like, it's a journey for everybody. And we really need to be kinder to each other and also to ourselves. I know, like, what I'm saying, it's not new. We hear this every other day. Be kinder, be kinder, be kinder. But like, I feel like it needs to be reinforced, because people, they take it in, but they don't really take it in. They don't really implement it. They're hearing you, but they're not hearing you, you know? So I think, be kinder to others and be kinder to yourself. this here life thing is a journey. We are all learning and also unlearning. Like, it's crazy. And it's just so weird. Now going back to the genie thing, it's just so weird how like that safe space and that safe environment kind of like unlocked that maternal, like, I want to start a family with you thing in her. Like, that's so, it's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. You know, to completely just like 180 like that, to change from one opinion to the complete opposite opinion, like that must be like a great relationship. That must be a really healthy relationship, and I love that for them. So in summation, I think everybody should and deserves to go through a process of self-introspecting, of healing, of unlearning, and of changing and developing as a person. And I also feel like people need to be allowed to do that. When people change, don't be reminding them about who they used to be, like they're trying to do better. Please don't be that person. That annoys me. Like, how you gonna mention something from 5 years ago? I am a different woman. Okay. But yeah, so there's that. I really do encourage that. If you need to go to therapy, do it. There's no shame. Therapy is not for crazy people. That stigma is, we're in the process of debunking it, but it hasn't fully been debunked. But therapy is not for crazy people. It's actually for healthy people, TBH, because when you go there, you're working on yourself, you're growing, you're developing, you're getting to know yourself better, and you are unpacking your baggage. So I encourage that as well. I encourage men to cry and go to therapy as well. Oh, and the last thing is that I want to say before I go is, once again, be kinder to others and be kind to yourself. Thank you for watching the video.